Welcome back to the house on the hill, gardeners. It is a pretty dreary day out, and still they're saying no spring for us yet, so still too cool for us to start much gardening projects. So I'm gonna talk to you about our house projects because we bought this very old house, and I already showed you the basement that we fixed, but next are these floors, and that project is starting today, any minute now. So these are the original hardwood floors from 1840 in this house. And while most people think, oh, they look beautiful, just keep them, I'm going to show you why we're not keeping them. A few reasons. But as beautiful as they are, there's nothing between these and the basement. This is it. It's just this and then the basement. So we can hear everything in the basement. When you're in the basement, you look up through the holes in the floorboard, you can see up here. And it's loud. So we can hear everything in the basement. People in the basement can hear everything up here. We could refinish these boards, but there's only so many times you can grind down and refinish almost 200-year-old wood boards, so we're probably not going to refinish them. And we have two large dogs that will scratch the crap out of this wood, might have accidents, especially as they get older, and things happen with older dogs, and those accidents would destroy the wood. So to protect these original wood floors for the next owner, we are going to cover them up. We have someone today coming to they're going to put plywood over this wood, underlayment, and then luxury vinyl planks to keep the wood safe. But some of the other reasons we're covering it up is it has these big gaps, and I know it needs those for breathing, but you cannot clean those gaps. The previous owner, it looks like, did wood filler, which is just crumbling and turning into what I call floor jam that gets sucked up in the vacuum or grabbed up in the mop. And I cannot clean these floors to my standards of clean because wood cannot be steam cleaned and you can't use very much water when you're cleaning it. And so to me, these floors will never be really clean to my standards, and it's kind of gross. These would be great floors if this was a museum or a historical building that people just came and toured and just walked through for a few minutes in shoes, but we like to be barefoot in our house, and I'm not comfortable being barefoot on these wood floors. So it's not comfortable for us either. And some of these gaps are pretty big, as you can see here. That's a pretty big gap. Like my finger fits in there. There's all kinds of gunk in there. And with two huskies, these gaps are going to fill with so much dog hair. And I know we could have a professional come and fill those gaps with like stained rope or something, but we're not millionaires, and putting down luxury vinyl plank is just going to be cheaper than having a real professional finish these floors the way they need to be finished. There's all kinds of cracks. I mean, if we don't cover them and just let our two huskies run around on these floors for however long we are the residents of this house, it would just destroy the floors for the next owner. So to preserve them for the next owner, if they do want to live in a museum, if that's their style, we do need to cover them. Also, in certain areas like this front hallway here, it's just in really, really bad shape. Really big gaps, just really rough. It's had a lot of traffic over the years. And again, be fine if this was a historical house that people came to a tour, but this is not the kind of conditions I want to be living in. So we do have to cover them. As beautiful as they are for a home tour, not beautiful for living in. And then this floor in this room is probably in the best shape of all the floors in the house, but still, look at those gaps. And it's just so cold in the winter because there's nothing between it and the basement. So we're going to be covering them up today, and I will show you guys the after. All right, here is the 1 week update on our floors. This is a nightmare, guys. I don't know what we were thinking buying this house. I'm really starting to miss our old, well, I've always been missing our old house, but I'm still very much missing our old house. So this one, oh boy, we're a week into the process and they're still leveling the floors. We've been living in a construction zone. There's sawdust everywhere. There's wood splinters everywhere. I vacuum and mop the one room that's in one piece every night, which is the kitchen. That gets filthy every day with all the sawing. Yeah, so you can see they're putting these shims, or whatever you call them, in to make the floor level, because the floor here is very, very not level, because it was built in 1840 and they didn't have levelers and things then, and they built things with the shape of the wood. So they are putting these pieces of wood in to try to get the floor to all one level all the way across the house, and there's like a 4-inch difference from one side of the house to the other. I don't care if it's level. I would have been fine with slanted floors, but our contractor's a perfectionist and is insisting on making everything completely level, one level all the way across the house, so that means this. The first day he started work, he saw how bad it was and had to spend that whole day going to the store and getting more supplies. And this is what they're doing to try to get it level. Is they're basically lifting up the floor in these areas where it was lower with these pieces of 2x4s that they're cutting to fit. And then on top of that, they are going to put, excuse the mess, we're in a construction zone, they're putting plywood on top of that. So basically putting another subfloor on top of the original wood boards. And we weren't sure at first. We thought, oh no, this is not going to be stable at all. This is going to feel weird, but it's actually really stable to walk on already. It feels more stable than the original floor, actually. It's actually more pleasant to walk on than the original floor, even though it's just plywood right now. But yeah, then on top of that, they're going to put underlayment and then floating vinyl floor across that, LVP. But this is our chaos right now. Miss having level concrete tile floors. We put those tiles in ourselves at our old house, and really missing that right now because it's chaos. It's very noisy here during the day. Very noisy, very loud. It sounds like they're breaking the dang house, but I have to trust that they know what they're doing and they're not. Yeah, it's too stressful to garden right now. And it snowed today, and yesterday. But very stressful while they try to level the floors. Even though I'd be fine with it not being level so they can put the vinyl plank on top. The dogs are being very tolerant of everything that's happening. Very tolerant. They've been trying to eat these wooden boards that the contractors are putting on, but yeah, a week of this, and then hopefully most of the leveling is done by now, hopefully, and they're just going to start putting the plywood, and then on top of that the subfloors, and then the floors, and then put our baseboards back on, put our bathroom back together. Then we have to paint, put our doors back on. They're also, because they're lifting up the floor to a different height, they're sawing the bottoms of our door off. It's very stressful, guys. It's very stressful. I'm sorry to this poor house for all the stress we're putting on it. This door's not very smooth now. But that's our chaos, and I'll update you with another video in a couple days, and hopefully by then they'll be done. There's another room where the plywood's down. I don't know what we were thinking. Then they'll get to this room that's still carpet. This was the main room we wanted to have replaced anyway, was this nasty carpet. They'll get to this after they finish the rest. Okay, and we are finished. It has been over 2 weeks. Took over 2 weeks, but they finally finished the floors. And you can see there's quite a gap where they leveled it. So we have a little step up now, kind of comical. They look pretty good. It's very different from what was here before. It's a nice light color, which we like. And now you can see we're in the process of moving stuff in and putting the house into a house now. So it's quite hectic here, but these are the floors that we have now over top of the wood floors. I'm trying to find a light for the hallway, but it's all continuous now. It's all level, not creaky. There's not big gaps. There's not a draft coming up from the basement. You cannot see the basement from here. You cannot see here from the basement anymore. Yeah, so this is our floors, and we're pretty happy with them. My preference would have been tile, for sure. Tile's easier to clean. I find this vinyl is not quite as easy to clean as tile, and it gets stained really easily. We're gonna have to go at it with a magic eraser on our hands and knees to get rid of some of the stains from the contractor's boots on the carpet, but it's nice that I can now clean it really well with lots of water or a steam mop if I want. And it's nice to not have a draft coming up from the basement and not have to worry about the dogs destroying antique hardwood floors. Those floors are covered up and protected from the dogs. They did put a lot of nails through those original hardwoods, so they probably won't actually be able to be used as the floor anymore, but they had to be covered up. There was no subfloor under them, so these are the floors now. And now the weather is warm. We have the windows open, and tomorrow we can go do some gardening and get back into a gardening channel. But this is the current state of our chaos right now. And we still got a lot of cleaning to do. But thank you guys for watching this video, those of you who stuck it out the whole time, and you've seen now how to transform a 200-year-old hardwood floor into something different. At least how a contractor did it. We did not do it ourselves. Okay, we'll get back to gardening.